This is Chapter 3, The Man in the Woods, from a story called The Immortals Society, written by Anonymous. The last night of camp was supposed to be the happiest one. Everyone was packing up, swapping addresses, signing each other's t-shirts with markers. Jack's cabin, Pinecone, was buzzing with laughter and flashlight games. But sometime after lights out, he woke to the faint crackle of something burning. At first, he thought it was just a dream, maybe the tail end of the campfire from earlier. But then came the smell. Sharp. Chemical. Wrong. Smoke. He sat up fast. The air was already hazy, curling toward the ceiling. "Guys!" he whispered. "Wake up!" When no one stirred, he shouted, "Guys! Wake up! Fire!" The room erupted in confusion. Kids coughing, shouting, stumbling out of their beds. The door handle was hot to the touch. Flames were licking through the cracks in the walls. "Out the window!" a counselor yelled from outside. One by one, the boys climbed through, dropping into the dirt, their faces lit orange by the glow. Jack was the last one. He turned back to grab his bag, his compass, the note from his dad, when the shadow filled the doorway. A man stood there, his face half lit by firelight. "Jack Rowan," he said. His voice was calm. Too calm. "You're coming with me." Jack froze. "Who are you?" "Someone your family owes," the man said, stepping forward. "And you're my payment." Jack bolted. He dove through the window, scraping his arms, hitting the ground hard. He didn't stop running. Branches whipped his face. Smoke stung his eyes. Behind him, he heard the man curse and crash through the undergrowth. "Jack!" a voice shouted. Charlie's. He turned toward it, but before he could reach her, a hand grabbed him from behind. He struggled, kicked, twisted, but the man was strong. He clamped a rag over Jack's mouth, and a bitter chemical smell filled his nose. The last thing Jack saw before the darkness took him was Charlie's face through the trees, terrified, calling his name, and then everything went black. When he woke, the world was silent. He was tied to a tree in the middle of the forest. The ropes cut into his wrists. His head throbbed. Somewhere nearby, water dripped steadily, maybe a stream. The man was sitting by a small campfire, eating from a can. His face was ordinary in the worst way. Thin lips, gray stubble, eyes that looked like they'd long forgotten how to feel anything. "You're awake," the man said. "Good." Jack's throat was dry. "Why are you doing this?" The man didn't look at him. "Your father's name is Adrian Rowan. I know who he works for. Your family's fortune makes governments look poor. People like you think the world's your playground. I'm just collecting rent." "You'll never get away with it," Jack said. The man smiled faintly. "I already have." He pulled out a phone, typing something. "By now, they'll have my message. They'll pay. They always pay." Jack twisted against the ropes until they burned. He waited until the man turned away and checked his phone again, then lunged. He slammed his shoulder into the man's side, knocking him off balance. The phone flew into the dirt. Jack ran. Branches tore at his arms. His bare feet hit roots, mud, stones. He didn't stop. The forest blurred around him, green, brown, black. Behind him, the man shouted, crashing after him. "Come here, you little—" Jack didn't listen. He kept running until his legs gave out. Then he crawled. He didn't stop until the shouting faded into the sound of rain. He didn't know where he was, but he was alive. By the time they found him, he had been missing for 3 days. A police search party spotted him near the edge of a logging road, covered in scratches and dirt, his camp t-shirt torn. When they asked what happened, all he could say was, "He tried to take me." Back at camp, the cabins were gone, burned, charred black skeletons against the pale ash. Charlie had refused to go home at first. She told everyone, the police, the counselors, about the man in the woods, the note, everything. They didn't believe her initially and sent her home, but when Jack was found, her story was suddenly real. 2 days later, after he was clean, fed, and bandaged, Jack sat in a police station with a phone pressed to his ear. "Charlie?" he said softly. Her voice cracked on the other end. "Jack! Oh my God, you're okay!" "Yeah," he said. "I got away. I just kept running." There was silence, then a shaky laugh. "I told them someone was after you. Nobody listened." "I know. You saved me anyway." They were quiet for a long moment. Then she said, "You're going home now?" "Yeah, tomorrow." I'll miss you. I'll come back next summer, Jack said. I promise. And somewhere, far away in her house in British Columbia, Charlie smiled through her tears. I'll be waiting, she whispered. That night, back in New York, Jack sat in his parents' penthouse, wrapped in a blanket. His parents didn't ask many questions, not out loud, but the air in the room was sharp with tension. We've handled it, his father said quietly. He won't be found. Eleanor brushed Jack's hair from his face. You were brave, she said. But now you see, don't you? The world will always want what we have. That's why we live as we do. Jack nodded, but deep down, part of him still saw Charlie's face, bright and human and real, and wondered which world he belonged to. That was Chapter 3, The Man in the Woods, from a story called The Immortals Society, written by Anonymous. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you again next time.